Hi, hey, hello, it's your GM Sandra once again, here for part 4. We're talking about the homebrew system from the Critical Role one-shot. Again, if you guys want to talk about it, let's just go in the comments and talk about it. If you want to talk about the game mechanics, that's also cool. I just want to talk about this because I'm hyper-focusing on it right now. I've already talked about the stats, I've already talked about the modifiers, I talked about the base dodge, and I talked about the HP. Now we're going to talk about initiative. Initiative, from what I can tell, is just your agility modifier placed in there, but there's a cool setup for it. The setup is that if you are wearing armor, it will give you a detriment to your initiative. I know I mentioned that in the last one, but I want to just explain it a little bit more. So if you're wearing heavy armor, from what I could tell, there was a person wearing heavier armor. They had a -6 to their initiative, but they had a +2 to their agility as their modifier, so they had a -4 to initiative. That's cool because, like, really in D&D, if your agility is too low, then like you can't do nothing. So most people won't have a like a -2 or 3 modifier. It will just be like the -1 or 0 modifier no matter what, because agility is so inherently tied to armor class, where in this game it's not tied to it innately. It might be depending on how you choose your stats, but that's like its own thing. Now we get to the combat setup, and this is definitely going to bring us into a part 5. I'm so sorry. It's just the way that we have to do until we are sure that TikTok is going to stay or go or what have you. So we talk about combat for this. The combat system is great because it's, again, nice and simple. I'm going to keep saying that because it's a simple system. So you roll for initiative, again, a d12 plus your initiative. You figure out what that is. Then you're going to go into combat. The first, we'll call them player, is going to make an attack roll. Regardless if they are successful or if they miss the attack, they get an item called adrenaline point. This adrenaline point can be used for later features that can help your other players, that can add damage dice to your attacks, all this cool stuff. That is the fun part. That is the simplest way you can have combat without having to roll other dice and things like that. But in the next part, we'll talk about what happens on a success and what happens on a fail, and so on and so forth. Thank you all for joining the crew. I'm sorry I have to keep doing this, but we got to make it editable for the other stuff out there, if you know what I'm saying. Ta-ta for now.